tylko że raz. Raz. Będzie, że nie słychać. I bitrate, frame rate, interval, creator dashboard, am I live? Channel. Okay, it seems I am. Chat is disabled for the live stream. Why is that? We are check this stream for view on YouTube. Why is that? We are check this stream for... How do you change it? Embed in stream? Not sure how to do that. Analytics, Discord, filtering, reply commands, appearance. This looks good. Restream chat is disabled for live stream. How in restroom when you start, is it fine? The chat's looking in the right side of the screen under the chat. Not sure how this works, and also maybe probably I would like to get this stream settings, pullings. But it works. At least it works, right? But we will handle the stuff regarding the stream not appearing next time. Okay, let me grab some water and let's see what are we working with here. Let's check YouTube maybe first, just to make sure that it is working correctly. It's on, or at least it should be on my channel. Let's see. Or at least it should be on my channel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so what we have to work on today is probably the shop system. So here's the shop itself. And this is pretty big, maybe even too big, but it doesn't matter really. But here we have to place our merchant. And also we need to make sure, why is this falling down? Let me check. Should fix that. And now it's way worse than it was. God dang it. Okay, I can see. Okay. Move it back here. Okay, that's way better. Anyhow, let's get this show on the road. We bring it here. So what do we want to achieve today is we need to add pricing to our items, and we need to start working on a merchant and merchant UI, right? So let's get going. I believe that when it comes to the adding the pricing, that should be rather easy. So let's find resources, weapons, and there should be like a common script for that. Chat, if you could just type something like hello, because I want to know whether Restream chat is working. So, but why does it say chat is disabled? Or maybe I can get just rid of that. This is YouTube chat. Okay, I can probably get rid of that. Or maybe I can embed it. Wait, embed in stream. Display comments from all platforms on your screen. Okay. Let's see whether this works. So, properties. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, this should be working. Hello from Argentina. Alejandro Javier Ledesma Mino. Hello. Hello, my friend. How are you? How's your game dev journey? How do you fare? Yeah, and it should be working, so at least this is good. Hi, how are you doing? Perfect. I can see it working. Thank you very much, Alejandro. How's your day? How's your game dev journey? What are you working on? Talk to me. And we need to find our script for the whip weapon. So weapon resource, it has attachment, it has in-hand texture, it has damage, which we added. Lucio Aquino. Hello, Argentina here too, but live in Europe. Wow, where are you living currently? What country? How are you doing, my friend? Okay, so we have weapons resource, but what I really need to know is where should we start? This is collision shape in hand texture, but this should be in axe inventory item, right? And the script is inventory item. Okay, so we go to inventory item, and what we will add here is we will simply add the price. So export var price, and just to keep in, I'm working on Unity, then change it to Godot Italy, and I'm doing my last project on Unity, then change it to Godot. Hopefully it looks great, mate. I'm working on trading card game. Lucio, Italy, yeah, it's great. I was there a few weeks ago. I was in Turin, in Piedmont. It was beautiful, wonderful country, wonderful people, lots of great food. Working on Unity. Actually, Unity is a perfect piece of software. It has more features than Godot currently. The one problem is, of course, the pricing and the fact that it's not open source. Don't feel pressured to switch to Unity, like right away, just because community said so. I switched to Godot just because Godot just makes more sense to me with its node-based approach. I'm working on trading card game. Alejandro, that sounds really cool. Tell me more. What engine are you using? What's the gameplay? Because that actually sounds really interesting. I was thinking about doing a trading card game, actually. Okay. So we can add the price, and just to keep the calculation simple, we will make it into an int, and then I can just, for example, for that example, we will work with shield, and we will say that the shield is 100. Okay, and that pretty much sums up the whole problem with pricing. But then we need to figure out how to work with our merchant. So we have a shop scene, and for now we'll mark it as a current scene. And I wonder whether this will work actually. So let's set this as a main scene and let's try and run it. Yeah, and it's going to crash because let's see, because it cannot find the player, right? But I'm telling you to instantiate this, so it should be there. Invalid set index position on with value of type nil. Yes, because we don't have a player spawn position, so we have to provide alternative starting position. So let's open this up. Let's open it up. And because there might be a case that we're not trying this from a transition change manager perspective. So just do export var and we'll say player spawn position, and that's going to be vector 2, right? Then going back here, let's see, we have a marker, so we can set this to this value. So copy the value, paste it here, and then we just need to take this into account. So or player spawn position, and now it should all work. Invalid set index position. Okay, so this is kind of stupid, and I think this is not working as it should in the TypeScript. Yeah, okay, so we have to do if else. So player position, we will do we can do inline if statement, right? So GDScript ternary, like there's not a real ternary operator, there's just inline if else. All right, so this, if this is not equal to null, else use that. And this is rather lengthy. When I was working in Argentina, gaming company Bigfoot, the creator of Godot, came to office a couple of days. It was like 6 years ago. Such a brilliant dude. You were working for a game company 6 years ago, so Lucio, you're pretty experienced then, I'd assume, right? Yeah, well, the guys behind the Godot are really, really brilliant. The way that they are driving the whole engine forward is great. So I just need to finish this later. Okay. Yeah, but in Unity. Yeah, but again, you're currently working on a mobile game for BBC about Doctor Who series. That's great. That's like high-level project. Much bigger caliber stuff than me just, doing some tutorials about Godot here on YouTube. Congratulations, man. Alejandro, I'm using Godot engine. I already have the template for the types of cards. The menus are ready, and I'm still in the process of creating game mechanics. Sounds like a good progress, Alejandro. Congratulations to you. If you ever have your game completed, your trading card game, or on each or anywhere, please do share a link about it. Maybe I can play it on stream and give you some audience with that. So yay, keep on working on the good stuff. Okay, so that should resolve our issue. Yeah. But the problem is that I cannot move my player right now. Because the transition is not done. Okay. So yeah, that's the problem. So this should run on given circumstance. So we can rewrite this and say, if transition manager per how do you code this? Transition change manager. Transition change manager player spawn point is not equal to null. We'll say that the player position is that, and we will also run those two lines, and then else we'll go with the predefined player spawn position. Else we will run it like player position is equal to that. Right, and that should solve all of the problems. Perfect. So we have that working, and we can run this scene independently. And I believe it should still work with the transition that I wrote. Perfect. Still working. So now we can start thinking about our merchant. So we need our merchant character. Let's find someone who looks like good enough. Let's see, that's gonna be in assets, sprites, actor. You know, well, this guy looks creepy with something like a old man. Oh yeah, this is definitely the look for the merchant. Right, so let's get that going. So what do we need? He doesn't really need to move. It can be stationary, so I can just create new scene, and we'll do animated sprite 2D, and we'll set up new animation for him. So new sprite frames. Let's do one from the sprite sheet. So this is assets, sprites, actor, character, old man 2. Sprite sheet. Let's see. This is all of him walking, which is not really what I want. And we don't really have like separate idle animation. Yeah, idle. Or do we? No, this is just a single frame. And I always want him to face forward, so I can just change the type just to sprite 2D. So no animation for him. Let's rename this to merchant. Okay, the sprite. The problem is that I need the idle, but just like one separate sprite from this. So what we will do is, since I can't cut it out, or can I? Can I do the region? Let's see. Yeah, I can do the region. Perfect. Okay. And that gives us our merchant. Now we have to figure out how we will actually trigger. Where is he? Oh, how we will trigger the interaction. So let's save the scene first, go to scenes, and let's just say merchant. Probably what we need is area 2D. So we have that, and we need a collision shape, and we will make the collision shape actually way bigger than the sprites, so this can be triggered earlier. Okay, so something like this. And we can place him in our scene. And let's make sure that he's visible right away. Okay, yeah, so you go here, and whenever you're close enough, it should trigger the interaction with merchant. And then the problem is to actually build the shopping UI. So let's search for game UI database. Let's search something like merchant. Yeah, and exactly, I don't want all of this stupid, useless, like microtransaction stuff. I need a proper buy-sell UI. Maybe I should search for something like shop or trader. It's like shopping. Let's see, let's search for trader. No, okay. It's shopping. Yeah, so basically how I imagine it to be is like we'll have it split in two parts, like merchant, right, and player. And here you should be able to see the amount of gold that you have, and then the grid of your items, and then the items that the merchant has. And if you click here, it should enable you to click buy if you have enough money, right? And then you should be able to sell your stuff. Yeah, it all makes sense. So the merchant has to have a set of inventory items to sell. Okay. So I think let's get to work. We need, yeah, basically merchant sounds good enough. Let's go to scripts. Something like RPGs, like Witcher or so. Witcher 3. Yeah, the problem is I don't remember how merchant UI was looking really. It was like years ago when I played this. Like, how old is Witcher game exactly? Yeah, almost. Well, the time flies, right? 10 years. Can you believe it? It was like, for me, playing this, I didn't play any DLCs, but it was like yesterday. Really. Oh, the time flies by. What can you do? Okay, so merchant GD. And the first thing that we need to provide here is It's going to be items to buy, which should be type of array of inventory items. Okay. And let's say we have one for now, and we will try to sell a shield. So let's go to resources, weapons, shield inventory item. Perfect. Okay, so we have that set up. Next thing that we need to figure out is how to actually display this. We will need shopping UI as a separate scene. Okay, so let's create new scene. This is going to be canvas layer. And let's call this shopping UI. It will need the script. We can create one right here, and we need to save the scene. Okay. And basically for now, let's start by adding margin container. Let's make it span across. And then let's see. We'll need probably a color rect, right? Let's do theme overrides. Let's move it back like 16, 16, 16. Oh, that's too big. 16 and 16. And, you know, for now, let's just do like some text, some label. And let's set it up here. And let's say just merchant with color of black. And we can't see it because it should render first, or because this is overlapping. Font color is black. Now we have this. Okay. So I want to basically have that being triggered. But how? We have to make it make sense. And the only way to do this is by informing the user that he can trigger that UI. Okay, so going back to our merchant, what I want to do is maybe add a simple label. So maybe this isn't the perfect way, but hey, we're just trying to make it work and not really trying to, you know, create this perfect UI of a game. This project is already as big as it is. I've been working on this tutorial for like, I don't know, 3 months, right? Given the fact that I had wedding during that time and lots of things happen. But we will just add a new action, and I will say like maybe M, like we'll add merchant action, and I will assign this to M. Perfect. So now I can just say function input. How do we do this? Actually, we need to be able to trigger this only when the user is in the vicinity of the merchant. So we will connect to body enter signal. Now, oh no, the only body can be a player. And we will add body exited. Okay. So get rid of this for now. And let's create a boolean can trigger merchant UI, and we'll start it as a false. And here we'll just change the can trigger merchant UI to true. And here we will say that this is false. Okay. So with that, we can move on, and we can actually add a label here. I would love to change the anchor. This is okay. That's like almost perfect. And I will say press M to start shopping. Okay. Center and center. I would love for this to have that in the middle. So something like this. It's definitely not middle, but that's okay. And I can also do font shadow. Okay. Or yeah, font shadow. And then we will just trigger this on and off. So it's not visible at the start. And then we get the reference. And we say on area enter visible true and label visible false. And let's see how this is working. Yeah, this is fine. Perfect. So what's the next step? The next step should be, of course, triggering the UI when we press M, okay? So let's see, how do you handle that? I would like to have that handle in input, probably. So let's see. Input event. If input is action just pressed merchant, for now we'll just print merchant UI. Yeah, of course it works, no worries there. So then going to merchant, I probably should have merchant UI as a child here. Or shop UI, shopping UI, okay. Let's get the reference to that. It should be hidden by default. Then we'll say shopping UI visible is equal to true. Okay, it would be also good to hide the on-screen UI. Right? Because they are overlapping right now. Or maybe we can give these ordering z index of 2 just to enable the sort. Okay, and then let's see. We will go to the player scene where we have on-screen UI. And this is a canvas layer. And this is a canvas layer. Let's see again. Shopping UI. No. Shopping UI. Oh, this is just. Layer. Index for draw order. Lower values are drawn behind higher values. Perfect. So this should actually. Yeah, now it's in front. Wonderful. So now we have to start working on this. You know, setting it up, everything like this. So let me think. We will need two buttons and a way to split this. Basically what we need are two columns. So we need V box, no, we need H box. Right, and now we have columns. Then what's the next step? Both of the columns need just like a container, or more like a vertical box container, and this is like merchant column, and this is player column. Right, both need a button at the bottom. So this is going to be buy, and another button, and this one is going to say sell. This is going to be sell button, and this is going to be buy button. Okay, what's next? Here I need that, and here I need another label to say player. Ideally it would have a color. Okay, and then let's see. How do we align this? If we align this in the center. Okay, this is all right for now. And then we need clickable grids, just like we have in our inventory. Let's see. We have the tile scene somewhere, because it would be perfect if we could reuse the same stuff. Let's see, player UI. and it has a grid container to which we add things, right? And those things are inventory slots. And then we also have spell slots, right? Let's see. On-screen equipment slot, inventory slot. Can we reuse something? Spell system, spell GD, spell config. See, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Invent spell UI. Okay. And this has a slot. And it has inventory slot, which has a slot clicked action. So this is what we should be using. Okay. So here we have to move the items from the merchant into shopping UI. Doable. So we have items to buy, and already basically in ready I can do shopping UI. Let's see, we should probably add script here. So this is a class name, shopping UI, and here we should also have the same thing I have in merchant, which are items to buy, and we will also need items to sell. So going back to shopping UI, and this is not going to be exported. We'll set it up, and then we need items to sell, which is also an array of inventory items. So you have that, and then we can move them from merchant. So here on ready, I can say shopping UI as shopping UI, shopping UI, items to buy are equal to items to buy. Okay. What else do we need? Shopping. We'll need the inventory slots scene. So let's get that and mark this as a scene. So at least we have that. And then we need a grid. So let's open shopping scene. And here in merchant column, we will need a grid container. How many columns do we need? Let's make it 4. And then how do we do this in player UI? Grid container columns, it is columns, and size, it's a size. and then we link to it. Okay. So grid container is a grid container. It would be cool if I could just open it up in a separate place. Never mind. Can I close other tabs? Thank you. And then next to it, I need this. So grid container, which is like selling grid container. No, buying, because we're buying here. Buying grid container. And the same goes here as a selling grid container. Okay. This is perfect. And then what we can do is say we have those already, right? Let's just do items to buy. So, oh, at the start they are empty. Because we need to find the proper place to set it up. So it's happening here, but I can just say shopping UI, setup, buying grid. Alejandro, you sent some code. If can trigger merchant UI, if in package. Oh yeah, of course. That's why we added that flag, right? Yes, yes. Thank you, Alejandro. You're 100% correct. And then there's gonna be a little bit of a problem, right? Because let's comment this out. Because we can do this and we can still move around. So we need to disable the player movement here, which is not ideal because we need a global reference to the player. Because I don't want my player moving around when he's shopping. So we'll also need an action to close this. Let's see. Do we have something for this? Let's see. We don't have escape button, and I believe it's only fitting to add this. Yeah, that would be solution, right? Because yeah, I know what you're talking about. I could just do flipping UI visible equals to false, and then we'll just move out of the position, right? Well, I guess that's fine, right? If you decide to move out of the scope of the merchant, you just close this. Yeah. And in input, add another if asking if visible. Do I need to? Let's see, what did you write? If shopping UI visible is equal to true. Oh, to close it with... Yeah, we could do that. We could do that because then you can use the very same button to actually close it off, right? So I can do this like that. Right, then you can use M again, or you should be able to press M again. If can trigger in merchant UI. Let's see, why isn't it working? It should be. That's correct. And then if shopping UI visible true, shopping UI if shopping UI visible true, well, it doesn't really help that case. I think, let's see, true, but yeah, well, let's go with your suggestion. Else shopping UI visible is equal to false. Yeah, that's not really what we wanted, because it's gonna run in loop. If can trigger, if input action, if shopping, that's too many ifs. Like we don't really need that. I'll just say if input is action just pressed, exit, and we'll tie this to escape. And if can trigger merchant UI, and shopping UI visible, let's disable it, shopping UI visible equals false, and then we just go here, no, not here, we will go here, and we will say exit, add, escape. Let's see, yeah, okay. And also you can leave to disable it. Perfect, that's what we wanted. Don't need that. Then we need to start setting things up. So let's set up buying grid, and let's create that function. So set up buying grid, and I will just get rid of that. Let's try this now. Okay, it has a resource there. Okay, so we can start working with that. We need a reference to buying grid container, and maybe we can do unique name, and then for item to buy in items to buy, we will try to set up an inventory slot. So we'll basically do the same thing we did for the inventory. Let's see. So this is going to be like inventory very Y. Yeah. So we also need, we have the inventory slot scene. So and we can call add item on slots. It's actually very good. So let's say buying slot is inventory slot scene instantiate as inventory slot grid or buying grid container. What don't you like? Mixed use of tabs and spaces. Okay, I hear you. We'll add a child, call this buying slot. And nothing there for now. But you can now say buying slot. And we need to go through... No, we don't need to go through anything. We'll just go add item. And that's going to be item to buy. Should be item to buy. The problem is we need to display the price. Right? Yeah, because you can see it working, and we need to disable that, and we need to connect to the click. And we need to display the price. So that will require us to work with inventory slot scene a little bit, because it has a label. Add item, label item name. That's a little bit problematic. Or is it? Let's check this again. If I could display a price there, that would be perfect. And I think I can. If I just copy this and call this price label, and I hide it by default, I can go here and say show price tag price int, and what's next? I will just say we need to get a reference to this. I will say price label text is equal to price gold and price label show, and then I can say buying slot show price tag item to buy price. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, it does. Okay. And then when clicked, I don't want to show the menu button. On pop-up menu item pressed. The problem is I want to can you nest that into another scene with the specific requirements for the shop? Lucio is asking, like in Unity when you have nest prefabs, not sure if explaining myself correctly. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean by that? What can I nest? I'm not sure whether nested resources are available, and you will have to provide me with a little bit more information. But we'll have to actually work with the spells a little bit, right? Let's see. Let's go to player UI. And what we have here, inventory slot clicked, on spell slot clicked, emit. Set. Yeah, and I also need to get that going. So the spell slots are inventory slots, and inventory slot should have toggle button selected variation. Okay. So going back to shopping UI, buying slot, I can just copy this pretty much. Let's see. Spell slots. Slot clicked. Okay. Let's do that. Slot clicked. I can just copy this. And then, oh, and I should use I. Yeah. And that's gonna be on by slot clicked, on by slot clicked idx int. Okay, and I can say buying grid container get child, and the code for that is toggle button select variation. And what do I toggle? Actually, oh, whether this is selected or not. Let's set true for now. The child idx. And let's see whether that works. No, because it shows the actions. Does that even run? I doubt it. No, it doesn't. Buying slot clicked. So it doesn't emit on click button pressed. Let's see. Slot scene. That should work. Single button press. Oh, I need to provide that property, right? Yeah. And now I remember. So buying slot, single button press is true. So not working. Main button, this has to be disabled, and that should work. Let's just skip it all. Okay, we can check it the other way. So let's go to remote, shop scene, merchant, shopping UI, margin container, HBox, merchant column, inventory, and here we have single button press set to on. So in theory it should work. And this should also be visible. but for some reason the menu button kicks in. Let's see. Yeah, on click button is not visible. Like, does it run too late? Let's see, that should be solved by player UI. Let's see, single, like spell slot clicked. Spells UI, single button press is set to on and it has a starting texture. The problem is that it triggers too late. Right, so before we add it, now it's working, of course. Okay, we can get rid of this. And now it can be selected. And then we need to also be able to deselect it. But we need to track the items that we would like to buy. Or the indexes of the items we would like to buy. Right? But yeah, I believe this can be done on our next stream. I'm just trying to, you know, guys, get my schedule sorted out. Probably I will try to stream a little bit on Thursday. So this is a shorter stream. Also, I'm a bit tired. Today I had to visit physiotherapist and I'm a little bit beat up. So I think I will finish it here. But good job today. We have our setup for our merchant done, which is what I wanted to achieve today. So yeah, I will continue on this on the next stream. Thank you for all the help, all the questions, all the conversations, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.